131 NFC phone. It has a built-in RFID reader and writer. We will be using this for our pneumonia surveillance project in Karachi, Pakistan. Our study subjects will be children under 3 years of age, and an RFID tag built into a bracelet like this will be used for identification. At this point, we're assuming that the ID has been assigned to the RFID tag and that the patient has been enrolled in our study. The next step would be registering the patient and linking the patient ID to a hospital MR number. The registrar will scan the tag at this point. The beep signifies that it was a successful scan. It queries the server to check if the patient is already registered in our system. In our case, the patient is not registered, and the message confirms that on the screen, which says patient is not registered. So I click OK. Next, the registrar will enter a registration ID, which is the hospital MR number. So in this case, I'm going to choose an arbitrary number and he's going to enter it twice for error checking purposes. And he's going to go ahead and register. The registration ID will be submitted to the server and stored in the database and linked to the patient ID. And if you can see, as you can see on the screen, it says that 111222, which is our MR number or the registration ID, has been registered successfully. Our website. We can go ahead and log in and click on the registration link to look at all the registrations that have been done. As we can see on the first row, the registration ID that we just entered, 111222, has been linked to that patient ID. The patient now goes to the doctor's clinic. A child already enrolled in our study has come to visit the doctor. The doctor scans the child's RFID card or tag like this and enters a diagnosis, which in our case, let's say it's pneumonia, and submits the information to our server. At this point, the GP diagnosis has been posted to the server and saved in a database. We can go to our website again and click on the GP link. And as we can see on the first row, for that patient ID, the diagnosis of pneumonia was submitted, and it took about 29 seconds for it to be posted to a server from the scan time. Another thing that happens is that on receiving the diagnosis, the server application generates an SMS to be instantly sent out to the mobile team that is out in the field to attend to our study subject at the doctor's clinic.
Here is the HPPDA we're using with more complex forms for data collection. This device will be with the mobile team. As the SMS arrives, the mobile team can view the details from within the application. If you see here, it says View Messages in the Queue. I can click on it and I can see that I have 2 SMSs. The SMS on the top is the most recent SMS. I can click on it and choose to view details of the SMS. Here we see that the patient ID is 1301569. It's a cohort patient. The phone number that the SMS came from, this is the GP clinic, and it will help us identify where the patient is located. And also we have the diagnosis of the patient. Of course, if it's pneumonia for our particular study, this is a high alert event, and the mobile team must respond immediately. Based on that SMS and patient ID, I can click on Fill Form. This is one of the many forms we've designed. It incorporates auto-population of the patient ID based on the SMS, or searching for a particular patient in our database. These forms are more sophisticated. It also includes calculations, edit checks, and skips to minimize errors and ensure form completion. After completing the form, I can save it and choose to delete the SMS from the queue.
The mobile team at the GP clinic decide that the patient requires a blood test. The phlebotomist of the mobile team will scan the patient ID like so. This scan will try to get the MR number of the patient from the server. Once this MR number is received, like we can see on the screen, which is 111222, they will write this MR number on the test tube with a marker, and they will click OK. They will enter the barcode ID from the test tube for the test ID and reconfirm that value. So let's say the barcode was 333333. They select that the test type was a blood test, and they go ahead and submit this data to the server. We can look at the website, click on the phlebotomist link. As we can see that the patient's blood test has been successfully posted to the server and saved on our system. This was just a preview of our system. For more information, please email us.